Welcome to Home Biz Tax Talk. My name is Lysandra Everett. I am the Home Biz Tax Lady, where I help home business owners win the tax game. Home Biz Tax Talk airs Monday through Friday, and when you tune into my show, you're going to hear about topics that are important to the home business community. And today I want to talk about taxpayer and tax preparer due diligence. Mainly tax preparer, but it's going to impact taxpayers, okay? So I just got off an IRS webinar yesterday that really focused on this, and I wanted to come to you because this is always going to be a sticky subject, okay, when it comes down to tax preparer due diligence. What is due diligence? That is the tax preparer asking the questions. A paid tax preparer, if you are preparing taxes as a living, as a hobby, and you are getting paid for it, this really does apply to you. So the due diligence is the homework that we do, the questions that we ask to make sure the taxpayer is entitled to claim the tax credits that they are entitled to, okay? You have to be able to substantiate that. And I think that's really important at this time because you know what? It seems like tax businesses is the new MLM, right? Everybody's popping up with a tax business. Get you a tax business right now. You can start today and make $60,000 tomorrow, and all this foolishness is out here in these streets right now. Also just, not even having any like serious, solid, decent training when it comes down to preparing taxes. You have people thinking that you can just punch in numbers and prepare taxes and it's all good. That's a no. All right. So I think it's really important at this time to really talk about this, to let you know that when it comes down to taxation, this ain't just another business. You start messing with letters. Like I said, about Forex, y'all mess with too many letters. When you start messing with the IRS, and you're not really aware of what you're supposed to be doing or doing it the right way, you can wind up getting yourself in a whole bunch of trouble. So I get it. People want to go out here and do the tax season boss out. We call them light switch tax preparers, when they turn the light on in January and then come April 16th, you can't find them. Good luck with that. It is what it is, and there's nothing that we can do to stop that. It's going to continue to happen. But as a tax preparer, you have to know that there are penalties that come with not doing your homework. And as taxpayers, you also have to understand that these tax preparers that you're paying to prepare your taxes have responsibilities and also have accountability to the IRS. We work for you, the client, to make sure that you pay the lowest amount legally possible, but we have a higher accountability to the IRS to follow the tax law and not just go get you some money just because you think so. You think you should have it, okay? So let's talk about these due diligence. Now, I'm going to share with you a couple of links that will help both the taxpayer and the tax preparer when it comes down to due diligence. And these are forms that the IRS has provided to show you what kind of documentation you need to substantiate claims such as the earned income tax credit, the other dependent credit, head of household claim, the child tax credit, all of that. And I want to share these forms with you so that when you, as the taxpayer, if you can look at these forms and say, do I have XYZ? Take it with you. And for tax preparers, if your clients come to you and don't have these documents available and you're asking all these questions, and taxpayers tend to get upset that we're asking sometimes what seems to be very intrusive questions, but this is a part of our jobs that we have to ask these questions to make sure that we're getting the whole story and to make sure that you are not getting tax credits that you're not entitled to. That's our job. And so these forms will help you to give these forms to taxpayers, to clients that get upset, and just ask them, hey, here's this form, review this. Can you provide these documents if requested by the IRS? Because I guarantee you the IRS will request them at some point, whether it's not from you or from somebody else. You don't know. As a matter of fact, I have a client that just received these same things. And yeah, it's go through all of the documentation, provide XYZ, and I ask the questions, right? One of the things that came out in the webinar too, and this is for my tax preparers, is that you can't just rely on the questions that are provided in your tax software. If something doesn't sound right to you, you need to ask more probing questions. Again, will taxpayers get upset? Yeah. But starting January 1, 2020, the penalty for like an earned income tax credit error is $530 per error. Okay, not per return, per error. So you can easily, be penalized $1,500 for one return if you're claiming the head of household, earned income tax credit, child tax credit. That's easy peasy lemon squeezy. As a matter of fact, I was in a tax group and one lady shared that a colleague of hers got audited for earned income tax credit and she got fined $60,000. Who got an extra $60,000 just laying around to go pay the IRS because you're not following the law, right? So I wanted to just come on here and really talk about that and really empower you as the taxpayer to be prepared when you walk into a tax office, whether you are, I don't care if you're doing face-to-face or if you're virtual, that you have these documents prepared to share with your tax professional. And as a tax professional, that you are prepared with what you need to ask your clients and the documentation that need to have, and ask these questions so that you are covered and you are not writing checks to the government, because they will check. The IRS will call tax preparers to talk about if they're starting to see your returns and you're having these errors. They're going to call you. They're going to call you first. Well, not necessarily first, but they will call you. They will send you letters and they will show up at your office. And then if all of that doesn't help you get yourself all the way together with claiming these tax credits and such, they will file for an injunction to put you out of business. So I encourage you, especially if you are new to the tax profession, take the time to understand what your requirements are as a tax professional to substantiate the claims of your clients as taxpayers. Walk in prepared for with your tax professional and be patient and answer the questions that are asked of you. We ain't trying to get in your business. But we have to protect ourselves and also protect you, because if you claim credits that you are not entitled to, once that's discovered, you're going to have to pay that money back. And then you're going to be trying to get representation because now you got to work out a tax bill or you got to go on a payment plan to pay some money back that you wasn't entitled to. How about we just skip all that in the beginning and provide the documentation, right? Let's not even do that. And along with that, with the new W-4 that was released for 2020, the design of that thing is to reduce the amount of tax refunds that are issued at tax time. So there are a whole bunch of working parts that are going on with these tax refunds. Mainly, I wanted to make you aware of all of the due diligence requirements of the taxpayers and of the paid tax professional, and for taxpayers to walk in prepared. And I'll share those links with you because it's a laundry list of stuff. I'll spend an hour trying to talk about the documentation that you need for each particular credit. But listen, the IRS is not playing. Every day from the Department of Justice, I see every day tax professionals are going to jail because they're claiming these false credits. And when you have to pay that money back, it comes with penalty and interest. And if you tax professional get sent to jail and you got to pay restitution, that restitution is waiting on you when you get out. It's waiting. So if you go to jail for a year or 2 years or whatever, that bill is waiting for you when you get out. And if you have been shut down from preparing taxes, you're going to have to find a way to pay back all this money. I mean, I was reading this morning about I think it's a tax professional that's got to pay back $2 million. That's a lot of money for restitution, right? So this is what we're talking about. Okay. So like I said, I will add the links to these things that, for my tax preparers that watch me on YouTube and on Facebook, that you can have these things. And also for my taxpayers that watch my channel as well. That my channel is really designed for you taxpayers, not my fellow tax professional, but I love y'all. But these documents will definitely help you walk in prepared for, to get your taxes done, get them done correctly, legally and correctly, so that you walk out knowing that you are getting what you're entitled to. That's it. Okay. So thank you guys so much for tuning into Home Biz Tax Talk. Again, we air Monday through Friday, and you can come right here to get your questions answered about your home business taxes. All right. Have a great day, and I will see you all next time. Bye.